Hello, and welcome to A Lady Well Traveled. I'm your host and creator, Shannon Bednarova, and I'm delighted that you've joined me today. On this podcast, we are looking to transform your travel experience and help you to plan your next trip with ease and less stress, and really help you enjoy and have a meaningful travel experience. I'm so excited because today I'm going to have a wonderful new friend and guest on, and her name is Kitty Melerski. Kitty is a new travel agency owner, and Kitty owns Dream Vacations in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So Kitty is going to tell you a little bit about herself, but she's going to start by just saying hello. Hey,
Hi.
Kitty.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Shannon.
Sure. Kitty and I met and just clicked. And so I was like, gee, I really need to have her on my podcast because she's just a great lady and just loved meeting her. So tell me a little bit, Kitty, about your background. I'd like to start with you as a child. Tell me about traveling as a child.
So, both my parents are Marines, and they're both from the Midwest. I was born in North Carolina, good old Camp Lejeune.
Near me, I know. I was born in Kinston. So,
Oh, yeah. So, for me, growing up, traveling wasn't really much more than going back and visiting my parents' family back in the Midwest. 2-3 times a year for very many years. They'd haul me and my brother halfway across the United States in my mom's minivan. I would go out there for, a couple weeks for Christmas, or my brother and I would spend summers out there in Nebraska or Minnesota. And so I got a lot of car traveling under my belt as a child. Didn't really do vacations like your typical vacations. I mean, I grew up next to the beach, so we were just there on the weekends anyways. That wasn't like a vacation for us, really. It was just a way of life. But I do remember we did actually do a trip down to Orlando, Florida one year. I was about 15, 16 years old. That's probably the very first time I ever drove on the interstate.
Oh, yeah.
My parents for like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, why don't you get behind the wheel?
We're tired. We want to go to sleep.
No, it was scary too because it was nothing but the semi-trucks all around me. So
absolutely.
it was pretty scary. I didn't do a lot of traveling like in your vacation realm until I was an adult. But growing up, I did do a lot of family trips in the van, and so I understand long drives.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of us remember trips as kids. We lived in North Carolina too, and my grandparents and all the rest of our family was in Richmond. So we always took trips to the big city of Richmond, and I remember we would drive past Philip Morris and go through the toll booths on I-95. And we
didn't have anything like that in North Carolina.
That was a big deal.
I do remember one summer, my uncle, who was in the Navy, was stationed in Chesterfield, Virginia. I don't know how old I was, probably 7, 8. So I was really young. I think my brother was a baby even. And we came up here to see my uncle and my cousins and stuff for a weekend, and we went to Busch Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
And I love this story so much. We didn't talk about this before, but we went to Busch Gardens, and they had the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh,
the
love
roller coaster,
it.
Right? Love that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like 7, 8 years old. I'm looking at him like, I don't want to ride that. It's too scary, blah, blah, blah. So my dad, this is just how my dad is. He goes, oh, no. We're not going to ride the big Loch Ness Monster. There's a baby Loch Ness Monster ride. So we're going to ride that one, not the one that's going upside down over there. We're going to stand in line for the baby Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
And so I believed him, of course, because 7, 8 years old. It's my dad. He wouldn't lie to me. So he got me on the ride. He got me on the Loch Ness Monster, went upside down, and everything.
And you were fun.
And I absolutely loved it. That was where my love for roller coasters started.
I also love roller coasters. That's a wonderful story because I have ridden on my senior class trip. I rode the Loch Ness Monster 23 times in a row. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that is so cool that we have that in common as well. I love that. When did you start traveling out of the country? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I did not start traveling out of the country until I was an adult.
Yeah.
I was married. My ex-husband and I went on our honeymoon to Jamaica. And that was my first time out of the country. I was like 23, 24. Yeah. And pretty much ever since then, I've wanted to go see everywhere else I possibly could. For me, I'm a big beach person. I love the summer. I love the heat. I love the ocean. There's just something about putting your feet in water that is just so like life cleansing and life changing.
Yes.
So I've mostly been to the Caribbean, Mexico, Dominican Republic,
Absolutely,
all of those places. So I have not had a chance to travel abroad yet, but that's coming this year.
Yes, tell us about where you're going.
So I'm going to go to Egypt.
No, I'm so jealous.
My son goes on vacation with his dad once or twice a year, and so I felt like that was my opportunity to find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of like, go big or go home.
Sure.
And I had this amazing Black Friday sale from one of my suppliers that I couldn't pass it up. There's just no way. And that's what you get when you get a travel agent, actually, guys. So just so you know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't pass it up. So I booked a trip for myself to Egypt. I'm going to go to Cairo, spend a couple nights in Cairo, then fly to Aswan and do a 3-night Nile River cruise down to Luxor. I'm going to spend a night in Luxor, then fly back to Cairo for another night, and then fly home.
That is so exciting.
I'm super excited.
I know. It's just going to be wonderful.
And it's all tours. There's all licensed tourist tour companies and all that, so I'm not going to be out there by myself.
That's right. And so you'll feel safe.
I'll feel safe, yeah.
As I mentioned, Kitty is a new travel agency owner, and we were talking, and she was telling me about her love of traveling. She was telling me she became a travel agent because she loves to travel, but she's doing this kind of as a part-time gig, and she wants to probably go into it full-time.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So, I've always looked at like being a travel agent as something along the lines of sales. And I'm not a pushy person. I'm not a pushy salesperson. I never have been. I never will be. But in going through my training and just looking things up for my friends, I've realized that I've always loved traveling. I've always loved planning vacations and traveling for other people, because I have done that not in a professional level, but just on hey, all of our friends and family are going on this vacation together. I'm planning where we're going. I'm planning where we're staying. I'm planning excursions, all for us. I love being able to give someone that experience. We kind of talked about it, like traveling it means so many different things to so many different people, but almost always it's a good, positive experience. So to be able to offer that to somebody else, to help them find their happiness and their joy in travel, is just, I kind of want to make that my full-time gig.
That is so great. And I agree with you. We were talking about that a little earlier today, and travel means so many different things to so many different people. And the reasons for travel can vary. It can be, hey, I need to go see family, or I want to find myself, or I want to find God, or I want to see the world, or I just want to see sights because I love history, or the reasons for travel are as varied as the people that we are.
Yes.
It's incredible. And that's a great mission is to help people really find their dreams, find what they want through travel.
My tagline for my business, because my business is Paradise by Kitty, so it is a dream vacations franchise, but I chose a vanity name for it, quote unquote.
I think that's cool.
So my tagline for that is, "What's your paradise?"
Neat.
Yeah,
I like that. What's your paradise? And
so for me, the beach and the water and the ocean, like hot heat, that's my paradise.
Yeah.
But somebody else's could be the mountains, or anything. Like as big as you can dream is as big as you can vacation.
Absolutely. I love that. That's wonderful. So I wanted to ask you this question because in the day that we live in, we've got AI and Chat GPT. We have all of these easy self-help, Expedia and Travelocity and Orbitz. And there's so many ways that we can get online and kind of book our own trips.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about how you can help the average person and just really add value and save them effort, trouble, and time. What do you bring to the equation? Because AI offers everybody, this is going to be easy. I can do this.
Here's a 5-star hotel.
All right. Here's a recommendation for a restaurant or whatever. Tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Well, outside of the time aspect, which I will get back to.
Okay.
Has AI eaten at that restaurant before? Does it
That's a
actually
great
know
point.
what meal to recommend because you've tried it before or you know someone who's been there and tried it before?
Yeah.
I think not. Really, that's one. But really,
right.
it's the time. It's time. On average, a normal person who does the Expedia, the Orbitz, and all of this, they spend 20 to 30 hours planning a vacation domestically. You want to go somewhere more complicated, like Europe or whatever. Did you know that a lot of countries, even if you have a passport, you still have to get a tourist visa?
Yeah,
No.
right.
Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that. And so they're going to end up going to these countries and they don't know this information. Travel agents do.
Yeah.
So we definitely save the time, recommendations. So even if I've not been to a location that somebody is trying to book through me, I have a travel network of over 4,000 other owners.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty certain within those 4,000 plus owners, somebody that I can reach out to and talk to does have like a legitimate recommendation. Money. I will save money. I absolutely will. I have gone through a numerous number of my cruise line suppliers that I have, and I will go on their website and I will go look at booking the exact same cruise on their website, like if I was just Joe Schmo out there going to Carnival or Royal Caribbean or Princess or whoever. And then I'll go through my supplier, Princess, Carnival, Royal Caribbean. And 9 times out of 10, it either costs the exact same, but I can get some bonuses, or it's cheaper.
Okay.
I've never, ever seen like a cruise line be more expensive through my system than it is on their actual website.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about bonuses, is that like getting cabin
cabin upgrades,
credits,
onboard
upgrades?
credits,
Okay.
maybe 2 nights at one of the not free dining establishments on the boat.
That's really good.
The other thing about that too is I have the ability to put that exact booking for the cruise line in a system that will actually check the price as it changes. Because just like with hotels and airlines, it changes supply and demand. So it will actually alert me to say, hey, this cruise has gone down. This room that you wanted for these dates on this cruise line will have gone down by $500.
Oh, wow.
And so I might not be able to get you that $500 off, but I might be able to get you some onboard credits,
free drink package,
along those lines.
Onshore excursions.
Shore excursions, absolutely. And if you just went to Royal Caribbean's website and booked it yourself, you wouldn't have that.
Ooh, okay.
So there is, I know a lot of people ask, like, who actually uses travel agents anymore and why? Yeah. Those are the big reasons. Yeah. Those are the big reasons. But not only that, but one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to really get to know my I don't call them clients. I don't call them customers. I call them my travel friends.
Travel friends. I like that too.
Yeah. So I call them my travel friends. So what I try to do for my travel friends is I try to learn who they are, what they like, so that way in the future, I can make recommendations that maybe they weren't even thinking about.
Yeah.
So I have my very first travel friend that I've ever booked anything for. They are loyal to Royal, absolutely loyal to Royal. Okay. But they really want to do like a Baltic cruise. But they wanted to try something a little different. Their kids are all grown and they've been just Royal Caribbean the whole time. So I'm actually going to, try and get them on something kind of along those lines, but not quite as Royal Caribbean, So, and getting to know that that's what they were looking for, I have recommendations based on that. Versus them just kind of shooting in the dark. Well, we've always been Royal, but we don't want to do Royal this time. So there's a lot of positive reasons to use a travel agent. One of the things that we had kind of talked about briefly is when you're abroad and something happens, who do you reach out to? Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. You could sit there and sit on a hold for an 800 number all day long to try and get somebody, get transferred here, there. Travel agents, good ones, have all the contacts. Abroad, if something happens, you contact your travel agent. They have the numbers to call. You're not going to be rolling around on hold for forever.
Too.
Yeah, so they can help you in the case of, maybe you missed a flight. Maybe for whatever reason the hotel doesn't have your reservation or something along those lines. So a lot of good reasons to use a travel agent.
That's a very, very good point as well. Thank you for illuminating that for us and me and all the listeners as well. Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So, for example, if I have kind of like a bucket travel list of things that I want to do, and if I said, Kitty, these are the places that I want to go in the next few years, Could you like start looking or keeping an eye out for really good deals and stuff for me? And then could you like let me know and go, Shannon, here's some stuff that's available right now.
Yeah.
Here's some things you may want to look at. Could you do that for your clients?
Absolutely. Some of my suppliers I can only book out a year ahead of time.
Okay.
But like that Egypt trip I got, like that was a steal. It was really a steal.
Oh yeah.
If I know somebody is interested in doing not even Egypt, but another tour, I know the supplier that I can use, and I know that time frame of year that they do those big sales. So all I gotta do is wait for that time and be like, hey, you wanted to go to Ireland? I got you Ireland for like $2,000.
Yeah.
For everything. I'll take a look at that. Like I said, some of my suppliers only do a year out. Some of them do 2 or 3.
Okay.
So, I was just putting together a trip for 8 to Australia next year. I gave her, an initial idea of what it would cost, and I gave her the different tour packages I put together for her. But the problem was I couldn't book the flight yet because it wasn't quite close enough. So I waited until after Thanksgiving, and I told her that's what I was doing. I said, I'm trying to get you a whole package together, not just piecemeal, because usually it's cheaper if you do the package. If you just give me a couple of weeks when the flights start coming in, this specific supplier, because they had some really good deals for Australia, and she did, and she waited for a little bit, and was able to get the flight and all of it put together for her, and I'm kind of jealous actually to go on that trip.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Now, do you ever work with like business class consolidators or anybody like that for getting your clients better deals on business class flights, or can you just do that yourself?
I can just do it myself.
Okay.
So a lot of the suppliers that I use for airline, they will give you the option of your basic economy seat, your middle class seat, your first class business class seat, and multitudes of airlines. So I can pick and choose basically what I want.
Okay. This is just giving us a lot of information and things to think about as to why we should still consider using a travel agent when we travel. I wanted to ask you, Kitty, what do you consider your specialty? What do you like doing the most when you're booking travel?
So I feel like cruises are the easiest.
Okay. That's
and they're
cool.
Fun.
And they're
cruises,
fun.
Yeah, cruises are easiest. But when I first decided I was going to buy a franchise of a travel agency, I said, oh, well, I've always loved doing groups. So I've vacationed with a lot of my adult friends as adult trips. And then I've also vacationed sometimes with like family groups. So 4 or 5, 6 families renting a beach house or something like that. I've always put those together too. And so I always thought that I would want to get into groups. Now, when I went to training, I bought the franchise. I kind of learned how that works. I am taking a step back from that. But that is my end goal. It still is my end goal because I would like to do it. There's just a lot involved. There was a lot involved with getting a group together. And the one thing I learned is that sometimes if you like to get a group rate for somebody or a group, you have to secure a specific amount of rooms or cabins or, whatever it is.
Right.
And you as the travel agent, if you put that group together and you don't fill all of those seats, you're liable for the amount that you're missing from that group.
Yeah.
So if you have a block group of 20 and you only sell 16, you're liable for those other 4. So I definitely still do want to make that my goal is do groups because I do love big group trips. I love adult trips. I love when older adults are able to go out and see the world or experience something new and just have a great time with each other, stress-free, all of that. So that is still my end goal, but it's definitely not where I started.
Okay, I gotcha. Those are certainly things for people to consider, even if there are people that are in our audience who want a career in travel. Because that could be the case.
Yeah.
Maybe they know that, maybe they don't know that, but that's something they may want to consider.
I thought when I bought the travel agency that it was going to be similar to what I've always done as an adult.
Right.
It is a lot of information.
It's
a lot of information.
Absolutely.
It is a lot of learning. I've loved every second of it, though. Sometimes I just go on and just plan these little dream vacations for myself, and I just don't hit the book now button.
Right.
So I'm learning the systems. I'm learning how they work. I'm learning which suppliers are better for which type of things. Like a friend of mine, she's trying to surprise her daughter with a trip to Universal Studios. And I have a supplier that literally just does nothing but Universal Studios. So I got her like 4 nights in the hotel right there. Airfare, tickets to all 4 parks, the bounce pass, the early entry pass, all of that for like, I don't know, less than $2,000.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah.
I know I went to Universal Studios for one day, and myself and my ex-husband, and we spent like $1,000 for one day.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I took my son there when he was not even 2. He's like 14 months old.
Yeah.
And I remember the pass to get into Universal, just two of the parks. Just 2 of the parks. All I wanted to see was Harry Potter. All I wanted to see was Harry Potter. So the 2 parks, because now it's in 3, but at the time it was in 2 parks. I think the ticket for a one-day pass between the 2 was like $300.
Oh,
just for the ticket to get in.
Crazy.
Never mind that we stayed in Orlando overnight. Never mind food, all of that other stuff. But yeah, it's expensive.
It is very expensive. Well, where do you see yourself now that you've purchased this travel agency? And I know that you're so excited about it. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Well, when I initially bought the travel agency, it's something I've been thinking about for a while now. And I was in a situation where it wasn't feasible for me to do so. And then I got out of that situation. I decided, why not? Really, initially, I was just like, well, hey, if I can find cheap travel for myself, get to see the world that I wouldn't normally get to see, and then, help my friends out with their travel, and that just kind of pays for mine, then I'm happy with that. But once I got into the training and started actually doing it and just enjoying looking things up for people, honestly, that's like one of my favorite parts is like just putting together these dream vacations for everybody. Now, in 5 to 10 years, I kind of want to be able to quit my day job. I really do want to do this full time. I'm pushing myself to make that happen. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I'm lucky enough to have a day job that is great for me and great for my time in order to build this for myself. But now I don't feel pressured to make it happen. Right. I can let it happen naturally, take my time, really learn the business more than what I already know. And just kind of grow from there. So I'm really excited to see what 5-10 years looks like.
That is exciting. Well, it's been great having you walk us through your journey. Yeah. And we certainly appreciate you joining us today. And so, Kitty, will you please reiterate for our listeners website, your phone number, and your name so that if anyone wants to contact you, and I'll also put this in the show notes, that everybody will be able to contact you if they would like to have your help as a travel agent.
You would love to have my help as a travel agent, I promise.
There you go.
So my name is Kitty, Kitty, like the cat, Melerski. I can be reached at 540-379-7142. My website is www.paradiseByKitty.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been great fun.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon.
I know. And I just can't wait to see where you go. And I can't wait to hear about Egypt.
Oh, God, I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm going to Jamaica next month, but I'm more excited about Egypt in June.
This is awesome. And I just can't wait to see where your travels will take you.
All right, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Shannon.
As always, I'd love your feedback on this or any other episode, and you can reach me at Shannon@aladywelltravel.com. That's Shannon@aladywelltravel.com with 2 L's in traveled. If you like the show, I'd appreciate a positive review from you. And please tell your friends and family to tune in on their favorite streaming platform. Please follow me on Instagram @aladywelltraveled, again with 2 L's, for photos of my recent trips and some video interviews that I've done. So until next time, please remember that God loves you and He created this extraordinary world just for you. You simply have to get out and see it for yourself. Until next time, bye-bye.